Hey everyone, Katie with Trans Refuge again. So I'm at my office, welcome to my glorious, kind of disorganized office. So I'm having a rare day that isn't super busy. This has been a very busy time of year for me, and I'm getting a rare day when things are kind of quiet. So I thought I'm going to get some thoughts recorded. So I wanted to talk about being transgender in the professional world and, success or succeeding with, transitioning and coming out as a transgender person in the workplace. So when I came out in January 2021 to my employer and my colleagues and everybody, customers, I had a lot of anxiety. I was very afraid. I didn't know how things were going to turn out, if I was going to have to find a different job, if my customers would still want to do business with me. It was an anxiety-inducing time. I can tell you now that I'm further down the road that everything turned out pretty good. So what was going on in the months leading up to that? I had a friend who is an attorney and who also happens to be a transgender woman. And I had met with her several times. We would go and have lunch, and just talk about her experience, transitioning, coming out, how things with her practice went, things like that, just to try to understand what am I going to be facing here. So I felt reasonably well prepared. But when the day came that I fired off the email to my coworkers and, made the big announcement, I was a little scared. But I discovered something that tends to be true about a lot of things in life, not just being transgender or transitioning or any coming out. It applies to a lot of things in general. And it's that people don't care. They don't care about you as a person. They don't care that you're transgender. They don't care that you might have financial problems. They don't care that you might have health problems. Just people in general, they do not care. And there's two ways to take that. You can think this world is so unfair and people are so uncaring. Life is hard because nobody cares about me. Or you could opt to look at it like this, that, you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares if I make choices, if I make changes. Nobody cares. So it can be a positive or a negative thing. And I found out that in the case of transitioning, it was a positive thing. Nobody cared. Most people looked at it and they were like, whatever, you do you. And a few people were even like, yay, go you. And, they were supportive and everything. I think there were two people that gave me a hard time. And they weren't even people I worked with anymore. They were people from previous jobs that for some reason word got around and they contacted me and, they sent me some messages that weren't very positive. But for the most part, most people did not care. It wasn't a big deal. So that's the first thing. The second thing is keeping in mind why you're employed. Why does the employer want me here? You serve a purpose. Whether you're working in production and you're making widgets, or maybe you work in shipping and you're loading trucks or unloading trucks or whatever, or you're an accountant and your job is to make sure that the finances of the company stay in order. Whatever. Your job is either to make the company profit or to retain and protect profit for the company. Excuse me. That's it. That's your job. Your job is not to be a man or a woman or anything else. That's all secondary. That's not primary to your function as an employee. So, as you're transitioning, you need to be fulfilling your function as an employee, whatever it happens to be. And you need to be making sure that your transition does not interfere with your ability to do what you're paid to do. If you're taking inordinate amounts of time off, if you're finding it emotionally difficult, the employer is going to see that very negatively because that's not what they're paying you for. And this can be harsh. I'm not saying this because I take the side of employers. It's just the simple reality that we deal with as employees, that employers are paying us for some specific function. That's it. Now, I happen to be in business-to-business sales. I'm out meeting with clients face-to-face out in the real world. And with that comes some expectations, both for my employer and for my customers, as to things like appearance, the way that I clothe myself, the way that I, comport myself. This is somewhere you need to be careful, especially if you're an outward-facing employee that interacts with the outside world. Those first few months when you're figuring out your style and how to dress, how to, if you're trans feminine, makeup and the hairstyle and all that stuff, that can be a really tricky time because you haven't had, the childhood and teen years and early adult years, if you're a late transitioner, to figure all that out, that a cisgender woman went through as an adolescent and teenager and young adult. They were, they had that time to figure out what looks nice, what doesn't, what works with my body shape, what looks terrible, what colors go well with my skin, and and even with other colors, and so showing up to a client meeting with mismatched colors and things that don't look very good, people get turned off by that. Be careful, because an employer, especially most states in the U.S. are at-will employment states. They can fire you for any reason, even if they don't like the way you look. That's no exaggeration. A company can just plain out fire you because they don't like the way you look. That's perfectly legal in most states. I would say before you come out, before you even let your employer know that you're transitioning, get some consultation, either with a friend or even a local professional, who knows fashion, who knows how to dress, how to present yourself well in the professional world. Have them help you pick out a few outfits and give you some tutorials on things like makeup and hair, so that when you come out, you're ready. You don't want to step out unprepared into the business world and look foolish. It's going to be bad for you, and just personally, in terms of that hurts, to have somebody be like, girl or guy, you kind of look like a clown. Get somebody you trust to walk you through, if you're trans feminine, makeup, hairstyle, clothing. Trans guys, this is something that, it sounds weird, but it's actually kind of a big thing, is comportment, the way you sit, stand. Especially in the business world, the way that the guys the way they move, the way they take up space in a business environment actually conveys a lot. And if you're kind of meek and, you don't look, like assertive or whatever, people take that as weakness. And in the business world, that can be a negative thing. So get some feedback from somebody who knows those things so that when you come out, you can hit the ground running and be successful. I know one of the things that I've seen recently, especially for transmasculine people, Elliot Page does a really great job with posture and things. I've noticed, I think somebody's coaching him, which is good. I do not, I don't hold that against him at all. But I've noticed like his posture and the way he stands and, like you see the photos of him recently and you can tell like somebody is probably coaching him on, like maximizing that masculine energy in your presentation, your outward image. That kind of stuff makes a big difference. Same with, trans feminine people. Get some coaching. Today I'm casual. I'm in my office. Nobody's seeing me. I don't have any web meetings or anything going on. So like, my hair is a mess. I don't have any makeup on. Got a t-shirt on. But I can tell you when I'm out in front of a client, I make things look as professional as I can and as feminine as I can. So, don't be afraid to take the risk of coming out and transitioning. So like I said, nobody cares. But also, prepare yourself. Because what you don't want to do is come out and then just fall on your face. Making mistakes that are easily avoidable. I guess there's one exception to that rule about nobody cares, and it's your employer. They care if you're not profitable for them. That's the threshold beyond which people start caring, is if you're making choices or you're exhibiting behavior that's going to hurt the company's bottom line, guess what? You're a liability and they're going to get rid of you. Unfortunately, that's how the business world is. I want to see people be successful. So I hope this video encourages you, gives you some ideas on things you can do to prepare, and also to have the courage to try those things. I went to a local salon that they actually teamed up with a local LGBTQ clinic, and they would give you one free session with a beauty technician. They would teach you hair. They would teach you makeup. And that one session taught me a lot that I never knew. I even take advantage of some of the higher-end stores like Von Mar. I recently bought an outfit there for a sales meeting. And I don't normally buy expensive clothes, but it's like, okay, this is kind of a big thing. It's like my first big event since I came out, and I want to look nice. And I went to the store, and I just told the lady, I was like, hey, look, I'm a super casual person, and I've got this big event coming, and I need to look nice. Can you help me to dress like an adult? And she was awesome, and she helped me find a great outfit. Don't be afraid to do that. It's more common than you think. So have a great weekend. It's Friday. The weekend is coming. It's snowing here, and I'm really excited. I know a lot of people are groaning because they hate snow and they hate cold weather, but I love it. So have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.